stupid, but rejoice. They all wanna follow me, cause I got my foot on the opposition neck and ain't no apologies. 100 yards, you know I own all the property. Daddy's home, you know I own all the property. You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the prove. You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the prove. You gotta choose. You like the top or you just...
It's the NFL on EA Sports, and there you get a look at Paul Brown Stadium on the banks of the Ohio River in Cincinnati. Tonight, we've got one last present under the tree, our final Monday Nighter of the year, between the Buffalo Bills and the Cincinnati Bengals. Tyler Bass about ready to get us going. And we are underway from Cincinnati. Brandon Wilson now from his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And some room to roam now. 12 yards on the gain. A great start for this offense. All right, I got to ask you, with these RPOs, essentially the quarterback has three options, right? So what's different from that versus the triple option that we see the service academies run at the college level?
As a general rule, the triple option at the college level, most things are called outside of the quarterback faking it to the runner and then keeping it himself and maybe having a trail back. What I mean is, in the NFL, that option to throw the football all comes about organically. It's a natural deal based on reads. In college, if you're going to throw the football for triple option, you've actually called that play.
The Bengals at 11-4 now on the year. And they've certainly found their groove of late. Winners of 5 in a row.
And this team is absolutely playing their best football right now. This is the best that we've seen them play in a long time, partner. Sky's the limit as far as they're concerned. Their confidence really soaring.
A Bengal first down on the 16-yard pickup there. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, where that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. Ed Oliver through the line and hitting him for the loss.
Well, as a wideout, when you take that handoff and you're coming around the edge, you're expecting to see nothing but empty space in front of you. But if not...
Well, things can go south in a hurry, and that's exactly what we saw on that play with a loss. On 2nd and 12, Burrow. And it's hauled in by Jared Cook. And he's got a first down as the tackle made at the Bills' 25-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards. All right. Throwing now, Burrow on first down. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete. But what a good contest here for our first Monday night game of 2023. Happy New Year, one and all, and thanks for pulling yourself away from all those college bowl games going on. For this, a great matchup between two of the real up-and-comers in the AFC. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
That's a big force incompletion there to bring up 3rd and long, and this defense can still salvage a little momentum by forcing them to kick a field goal. Plays ago, they looked like they were headed towards the end zone.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
11.
To the air again, Burrow. And that's incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
McPherson's kick is good. And the Bengals are on the board first here. It's 3-0. All in all, a pretty decent opening drive, Charles. Pretty balanced. They had the passing game going and the rushing attack, too.
I would think they have to be happy with that start because you get your ground game going, which means your offensive line and your runners are pretty happy, and then you get your aerial attack going as well, so your quarterback and receivers have smiles on their faces. Now both up to speed, awaiting their next possessions for this game. They can't wait to get started again.
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Throwing to start the drive. Allen swinging this out wide here for Cook. So nothing doing there, and that'll make it 2nd down. Well, this defense for the Bengals, they were strong last week, CD, and that went over New England.
And I think our statistician, we ended up having to bring the blue tent and put it around him for a while because he was developing a hand injury from having to run.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They run for the first time with James Cook. Von Bell up to make the tackle. Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you, keep it to short gains, and you pile up statistics.
And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
In any event, it happened pretty quickly. I'm not sure he made the right decision on that one. I think if he had it to do over again, he would have found a different target downfield. But he made his decision, and that one's incomplete.
Throwing is Allen on 3rd. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. He couldn't get away there on 3rd down. The pressure too much, and he's sacked for a loss of 12. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. That's taken on the 25. It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And the Bengals will take over in terrific field position. Now Burrow on 1st down. This goes out wide for Mixon. Shedding the tackler, and it gives him some room. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
They go with the empty set there. 5 receivers in the formation. Normally, you want to have a running back in to block, but in this case, he's lined up to the right, and he ends up getting the football. A lot of confusion caused defensively, and it turns into a big play.
On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow. Into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked up by Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker. And the Bills are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line. They start the drive with Cook. Ooh, with a juke. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
I think they're ahead of schedule now after that run. They might be bold with this 2nd down call after that type of a game.
On second down, there's the option going left. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. First down, here's the run with Cook. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack. Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat it? Oh, Allen cannot get away, and down he goes. It's a loss of a yard, so they'll wind up crediting him with a sack, and it brings up third down. They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their third one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long. And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder. Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Von Bell. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion. And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make... Trying to get it to Chase, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker. And the Bills will take over possession here up at the 44. Well, those have been a problem for him all season, but never quite as much as they have in these last few minutes. Let's count it up now. A pair of picks on his team's last 2 drives and double-digit interceptions this season. I don't care if you're the best in the game or an undrafted rookie. You've got to take better care of the football or you're going to cost your team chances. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. A quick throw going to be caught by Diggs. And he'll be brought down at the 27. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal. It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the... Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hilton. And the Bengals are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago. He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way. And here's a throw taken in by Boyd. And he's got some space here. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. For as big and strong as some of these guys are, especially when you see them in full pads, it is sometimes hard to appreciate how truly fast they can move. That was incredible.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And according to Next Gen Stats, his top speed on that one better than 20 miles an hour. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. McKenzie will not return this, and it'll be brought out to the 25. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. The partner just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season. The playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league. But the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early. But if there's that special one there, I say they go get him.
So that run there, yeah, I don't know if it's overstating things to call it a thing of beauty, but in terms of football plays, that's as good as you're going to see.
And this is a play defensively where you're just looking around and saying, what was that? What just happened? You're looking at your teammates, they're looking at you. And let's face it, your defensive coordinator, he's not going to tip his cap to him. That's not how football works, but he probably should have after that run. That was absolutely sensational.
And he covered a lot of ground on that one, as evidenced by the final total there on Next Gen Stats. From his end zone, Wilson. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
Here we go.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup with someone trying to cover them, but they also have those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those, too.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
11 MP.
Again, it's Mixon. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5 on 3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they will just roam and hit.
And he's got a first down as the tackle made at the Bills' 20-yard line. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. From the red zone now, here's Burrow, first down. 2 minutes remaining in the first half, 10-7, our score.
Here we go.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
11 mighty.
From the shotgun, it's Burrow. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
11 MP tank. 11 MP tank.
Again, it's Burrow. This is caught. And the Bengals are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, you just need the tip of the ball across the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with 1st and goal.
Into a mass of bodies, and I think they held him out. They did. Call it no gain, and it's going to be 2nd and goal.
They're right there at the 1. No gain, but don't let that stop you. Line back up and keep going at them. If I'm them, I'm thinking about going at it 4 straight times.
11. 11 MP tank. 11 MP tank.
Another try for Mixon. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. This Buffalo defense has stood their ground. This is 3rd and goal. Burrow will throw. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45. Well, turnovers, obviously, Charles, always costly. But, man, when you throw those interceptions in the end zone like that, it really stings.
He tried to fit that one into his tight end, and I often use the expression NFL open, which means a tighter window. Down near the goal line, you really want him to be open. In this case, it cost him.
They run the counter with Cook. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Tackle made there by Chidobe Awuzie.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. So after the sack, Allen and the Bills with work to do on 3rd and long. From midfield, here's Allen. He wants it all for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
That's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And it's taken in at the 9. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin getting set for quarter number 3 here. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And we will not see a return to start the half as this will be a touchback. Bills come to the line to start their next drive. It's been a tight game to this point. What do they need to do, Charles, to break through in the second half and take the lead?
Well, I think the first thing they need to do is thank their defense for keeping them in this game. And you know what I think the defense is saying back to them? Why don't you guys focus on getting some first downs, put some drives together, give us a little bit of a break here. If we can get some rest, we'll play even better for you. And oh, by the way, pay off a few of those drives with some points, too.
They run again on first down. Cook. And he'll get it down here to the 43. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure you're back. You spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
The goal is certainly to try and make a big play happen and climb back into this game, but you have to be careful. If you overdo it, you could turn it over and hurt your team.
Allen going to keep it again. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on third. Allen now looks to throw. And that is incomplete.
Well, they certainly haven't let it up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. And that is no good. And instead of tying it up, they'll remain down by 3. Down here in the third quarter, obviously that's one they could have used.
Yeah, and one of my favorite special teams coaches in the NFL told me what separates the kickers in the NFL versus the ones who are not is not the misses. It's the second miss in a row. Best kickers in the league, they don't miss 2 in a row. He's got to get his head back together in case he gets another shot.
And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Joe Mixon, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. McPherson now for the extra point. It's good to make it 17-7. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. McKenzie now from his end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They trail by 10, 17-7 as they come up on a 1st and 10. And from the 15, they're able to work this up to the 20 for a pickup of a handful.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
139 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. They run it again with Cook. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
On 2nd down, here's Allen. And Allen going to be intercepted for the 3rd time. Picked off by Mike Hilton. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. That is now 7 interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet and make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
Mixon with a 1st down carry. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Back to Mixon on 2nd down. And some room to work. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. That burst good for 20 and a 1st down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that will bring up second down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
On second down, here's Mixon. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness. He's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. On third down, Burrow. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Joe Burrow taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Bengals take advantage of the field position on the turnover to cash in for 6.
He didn't originally want to run, but he didn't see anything in the passing game, so he scrambled, and wouldn't you know it, he scores a touchdown anyway. It's awfully nice to have a quarterback who can make things happen with his legs.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here. And now the rookie's free. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. James Cook, his 11th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Bills get a bit closer. Tyler Bass now for the point after. It's up and good, so they claw back into it. 24-14 now. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. From his end zone, Wilson. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy, because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I'll tell you what, this defense hasn't played its best, but they're still right in this football game. And if they keep making plays just like that, they're going to give their offense a chance.
On 2nd and 11 now. Burrow. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Oh, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Well, you most certainly don't want to go 3 and out here and give the football right back, because your friend, Old Momentum, he's wondering if he should change sidelines about right now. And if you don't convert here, guess what? He's going to make the trek to the opposite side, and all of a sudden, you've got a battle on your hands.
And he is going to have a Bengals 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Here we go.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Tremaine Edmonds there to bring him down. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL.
Come on, ready?
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
11 Tommy. 11.
Here's Burrow. puts this in the hands of Mixon. He's got room at the 30, and he's brought down here just outside of the 20. The offense has to love that because that was just a dunk down, and then he turned something out of seemingly nothing.
And the best quarterbacks understand that dumping it down is often a good play, a better play than even what was drawn up.
It's Mixon on the counter, and not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
So that'll leave Burrow and the Bengals with a 3rd and long after that sack we just saw.
11 mighty.
From the gun, a give to Mixon. Down right around the 25. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
McPherson's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So that maybe not a knockout blow, but I suppose certainly every little bit helps when you're trying to salt one away in the 4th.
Well, the possibility of being beaten by 2 late touchdowns or at least sent to overtime does exist, but time, definitely a big factor at this stage of the game, is in their favor.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. It really doesn't get much easier than the last drive. One play, and they took it all the way to the house on the touchdown run.
And you know how many times we talked about that's exactly how they drew it up? Because essentially every play that's drawn up in an offensive playbook, if everyone does their job perfectly, should go for a touchdown, right? That's one that actually did. Give a little credit to those big fellows up front, too. They sprang their man for not only a big gain, but 6 points.
Extra point by Bass, up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. From his end zone, Wilson. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
On 2, ready?
The Bengals drive about to get going. Their lead back down to 1 score after the touchdown a moment ago. First downs a month. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. And great field position coming up in the red zone at the 17-yard line. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. They'll try the middle with Cook. Oh, good move at the 10. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down. So that time they get the tight end on the hold.
Normally he's a pretty good run blocker, but this time he just didn't get his arms extended and let go quickly enough. The flag came out as a result.
Cook following the penalty. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Now on 2nd and 16. Allen throwing the out route incomplete. It's Howard. And they're going to be set up now with a ball at the 13-yard line.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense in every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
So the shotgun snap to Allen. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
Now Allen, gotta have this one. And it's caught. And he's brought down. Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on 4th down to bring up 1st and goal. Cook will take this over the line. Touchdown, Buffalo. And those 3 rushing touchdown games in this league, you know darn well, those are hard to come by. They're becoming even harder to come by as the years go by, aren't they?
Isn't that the truth? It doesn't matter what you do in terms of game planning. You may be a run-first team, but you're running against an NFL defense. That's some of the biggest, fastest, best athletes on the planet. Hard to do. Cherish that moment, even as he's eager to add to that total.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. From his end zone, Wilson. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
On 1, ready?
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. We certainly have a good one on our hands. They're trailing after that last touchdown, but now a chance for this offense to try to snag that lead right back here in the 4th quarter. Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
11.
Now Burrow. And he rifles one incomplete. Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower.
And that's intercepted yet again, and that could be the backbreaker. Picked off by Jordan Poyer, and his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. They run with Cook. He's been busy tonight. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. James Cook. A 21-yard touchdown run. And the Bills will add to their 4th quarter lead. They do tack on the extra point as well. And that will ensure that it will take a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie it. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. From his end zone, Wilson. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback.
Here we go.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily when you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Complete to Boyd. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
That gets them the first down, but they've still got to move quickly here.
First and 10 at the 45-yard line.
11.
Burrow. And that's going to be caught. T. Higgins. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 36 yards on the play. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Now Burrow. The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Ooh, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
Burrow. He will find his man Chase complete. And the Bengals are going to have a first and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game.
Here we go.
First and goal, a touchdown and a two-point conversion here are musts. Throwing, Burrow. And this is caught. He's got it for a touchdown. And now in the final seconds, it's all going to come down to a two-point conversion.
The touchdown's massive, but now they've got to have two to possibly take this to overtime.
On one, right?
Here's Burrow. And it's caught. And with it, we are tied here at the 4th. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild fourth quarter. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee and they'll start things out at the 25. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And Charles, obviously not much time left. I'm curious to see if there's enough for them to get into field goal range and try to win this thing.
And partner, you and I both know the safe calls to kneel and just take it into overtime. But it's also very tough to pass up a chance to win it right now as well. But remember, if you do attempt that, it's got to be a big play downfield and still leave yourself enough time to get your field goal unit out there and kick for the win.
And I believe the referee's been buzzed. Yeah, they want to take another look at this call, and it's certainly a big one here late in a tight game. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll give to Cook on the read option. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. And with inside of 10 seconds, 8 to be precise, we get whistles and a timeout on the field. Eight yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. Again, it's Cook. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now another timeout called for by the offense. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. So all eyes now on Tyler Bass. This to put it into a wild Monday night. And this one is no good. He missed it. And a costly one there as this game remains tied here in the fourth. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So it'll be the Bengals with the football here to start the overtime session as the kick is away. McKenzie now from his end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
For most people, the excitement of a kickoff return is to see a long one that goes back in the opposite direction. But for the guys covering it, it's being able to stop them deep in their own territory. How about that incredible form tackle right there? Shoulder into ball carrier, and down he goes.
They run on first down, but it only produces a gain of 2. It's second down now. Short gain there to start overtime.
Almost a tester play, wasn't it? Wanted to see if the guys on defense were going to fit the gaps the correct way, because we're in overtime. So it's not just physical tiredness out there, right? Mentally, are you still doing what you're supposed to do? And they were up to the task on that play.
And certainly fatigue on both sides of the football. So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And now we've got a 3rd and 4. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Gets his guy on the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down. A nice
blitz coming, and down he goes. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him. The Bills send the punter out. On for a very important punt here in the Bills send the punter out, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. Call that a 45-yard punt, just 2 yards there on the return. And the Bengals will take over here, 1st and 10. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. Well, their defense did the job, got off the field without giving up any points, and now, Charles, all they need here is a field goal, and they get the victory.
Yeah, and this is the way I love overtime. I'm one of those really, really old school guys that like sudden death right from the beginning. Well, we've got it now because any points wins the game. On defense, get a safety, a pick 6, fumble return, you can win it as well. So I'm really looking forward to this series and see how both sides play it.
Well, they're going to get about 3 here out of this first down run, and that'll bring up 2nd and 7. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
12, 12, 12.
They'll stay on the ground. Mixon again. And he'll take this one down to the 36. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
An extra defensive back here for the Bills on 3rd down. 2 minutes left in this overtime session, and still all tied. So all eyes now locked on Evan McPherson. Now the Bills will take another timeout. They'll be left with just one remaining here at OT.
Here we go.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. They're passing here. Joe Burrow. Oh, and it's intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45. Both offenses sputtering a little bit here in overtime, Charles, but give credit to the defenses and certainly credit to them on that last play. That is a huge interception.
I will absolutely do that. They deserve the credit because they forced a punt on the opening drive of overtime. You know no one wants to give up the ball in OT, and now you have them back out there knowing that it only takes a field goal to win this game. Big-time defensive plays being made.
He's had some big runs in this game. Not there, though.
But I don't think they're going to be deterred by that play right there. He's had some nice runs in the game. And how many times have we seen a good running back get stopped, yet turn it into something big on a later carry?
Oh, Allen cannot get away, and down he goes. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sand. I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational, CD. That is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
Going deep for Diggs. Oh, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hilton. And the Bengals force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. Gigantic play by this defense, Charles. So they came back in the fourth quarter, took the momentum into overtime, and now they take the football.
And how do you think the team that just threw the pick feels right now? They surrendered the lead, got to overtime, had a chance to redeem themselves, and now they put the game in jeopardy with another pick.
And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
Chalk that one up to bad acting, I guess, because they certainly failed to sell the handoff, and the pressure stayed keyed in on the quarterback. No Oscar awards for this offense, just a loss of yardage.
Here we go.
Well, how about this? The very, very rare tie that we just witnessed. Hard to believe.
You don't see it very often. A bonus period of football, yet both teams go home a little bit unsatisfied.
This one took us deep into the night, but in the end, after 5 quarters, we're unable to determine a winner.
Well, can I say it? I think it's a fair outcome of the kind of game that we had, pretty evenly matched. But here's where it gets tough. Because it was a night game, makes it much shorter on the turnaround, doesn't it? Especially for the visiting team.